pack your bags for a journey into the unknown. I'm counting down 15 of the most bizarre places on Earth where nature and history collide in ways you won't believe. Let's start with number 15, Salar de Uyuni. Spreading out over an astounding 11,000 square kilometers, Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia holds the title of the largest salt flat in the world. This endless expanse, dotted with pyramids of salt, presents a dazzling display of nature's magic that is as beautiful as it is bizarre. The formation is a fascinating geological story. It's believed to have formed as a result of transformation of several prehistoric lakes. Around 30 to 40,000 years ago, this area was part of a giant lake called Minchin, and over time, the water from this lake evaporated, leaving behind a thick crust of salt. The unique hexagonal patterns that cover the surface are the result of the crystalline nature of the salt, which contracts and expands with changes in temperature, creating these shapes. The wet season from roughly November, and even rare hummingbirds. These resilient species have adapted to the extreme conditions here, thriving in a seemingly inhospitable environment. In the heart of this surreal landscape stands the Hotel Playa Blanca, a unique structure built entirely from salt. While the hotel offers no electricity and minimal amenities, water must be trucked in, it provides something far more precious. Utter silence, austere beauty, and an unobstructed view of the night sky that's nothing short of magical, if not a little salty. Number 14, the Pink Lake of Torrevieja. On Spain's Costa Blanca, flanking the northwestern edge of the seaside city of Torrevieja, lies two colorful salt lakes that form the nature reserve, known as Las Salinas de Torrevieja. Among these, the lake stands out with its bubblegum pink color, which dramatically overshadows its green-tinted neighbor. This bubblegum pink color of the lake isn't a result of artificial ingredients, but in the 19th century, the area became a significant hub for Spain's salt industry, contributing greatly to the city's economy. The Pink Lake here is more than just an eye-catching body of water, it also does act as a natural spa. The high salt concentration of the water and the mud at the bottom of the lake are believed to have healing properties. The buoyant water also makes it a fun place to relax and float effortlessly, akin to the experience in the Dead Sea. While the Pink Lake of Torrevieja is one of the most famous, it's not the only pink lake in the world. Other notable examples include Lake Hillier in Australia, Lake Retba in Senegal, and the Las Coloradas in Mexico. These lakes share similar characteristics such as high salinity and the presence of specific microorganisms, which create those pink hues. However, each lake has its own distinct features and charm, making the Pink Lake of Torrevieja a unique gem in its own right. Number 13, Goblin Valley State Park. Goblin Valley State Park, located in the arid from erosion by the elements. Over many years, wind and water have sculpted these giant sandstone rocks into an army of unique hoodoo goblins, creating this bizarrely beautiful place. The harsh environment, the lack of water and food does make it a challenging place for animals and plants to thrive. The valley floor is predominantly bedrock, and the deficiency of soil and vegetation means that rainfall often results in flash flooding. Despite those challenges, though, the rocks, coves, and hundreds of miles of dirt roads provide plenty of opportunities for visitors to explore and be amazed by the park's unique geology. It was first discovered by cowboys, but its significant discovery came in the 1920s when Arthur Chaffin stumbled upon it. Chaffin was so impressed by the spectacular location, he returned in 1949 to explore it and initially named it Mushroom Valley. The area was later claimed by the state of Utah and officially designated as Goblin Valley State Park on August 24, 1964. The park's name reflects the whimsical and eerie Denman, a mechanical engineer with a knack for tinkering, embarked on this unusual project with a timber frame, roof, and floors. But when it came to the walls, he opted for something far more unconventional: varnished newspapers. The walls, doors, and even its furniture are crafted from roughly 100,000 newspapers, layered and varnished to create 1-inch thick panels. Stenman used homemade glue from flour, water, and apple peels to bind 215 layers of newspaper together. Now, remarkably, the walls and furniture remain readable, showcasing headlines like, "Lindbergh hops off for ocean flight to Paris." Well, inside the paper house, every piece of furniture, from the clock and desk to the chairs, is made entirely of paper, with the exception of the piano, which is only covered in paper, and the fireplace, which is constructed from brick, well, for obvious safety reasons. While the exact reasons for Stedman's choice of material do remain unclear, it is speculated that his decision was influenced by a desire for over to New Jersey, and the next entry on this list, it's Insectropolis, affectionately known as the Bugseum of New Jersey. This buggy attraction offers a peculiar experience, unlike any other in the state. This unique museum is dedicated to enlightening visitors about the crucial roles that insects play in our ecosystem, while also dispelling some common misconceptions and fears. Insectropolis is designed as a bug-themed city, guiding visitors through a series of exhibits that showcase thousands of insect specimens from all corners of the world. The museum's collection includes both preserved and live insects, providing an up-close look at the diverse world of bugs and their fascinating behaviors. The journey begins at Bug University, where visitors get an introduction to the basics of entomology, the study of insects. Here you'll learn how bugs are identified and classified, gaining insights into their intricate anatomy, diverse eating habits, unique communication methods, and various other defense for hands-on encounters with live insects. This means you'll get down and dirty with these creepy crawlers. Knowledgeable staff members guide you through as you carefully touch and handle tarantulas, scorpions, and other exotic creatures. These interactive experiences are designed to demystify these often feared animals, highlight their unique adaptations and their ecological importance. Count me out on the tarantulas, please. Number 10. Santa Claus, Arizona. In the Mojave Desert, a place known for its blistering summer heat, Joshua trees, and unusual rock formations, stands the ghostly remnants of Santa Claus, Arizona. The irony of a town named after the North Pole's most famous resident in such an arid, scorching location is just the beginning of its story. Santa Claus, Arizona was founded in 1937 by Nina Talbot and her husband after they arrived in nearby Kingman, Arizona in the early 1930s. The Talbots envisioned the town as Nina Talbot sold the town in 1949. One of the few genuinely successful businesses was the Santa Claus Inn, later renamed the Christmas Tree Inn. Renowned food critic Duncan Hines, who later lent his name to a famous brand of food products, described it as one of the best in the region. The inn even inspired science fiction writer Robert Heinlein to pen a short story about a gourmet meal served there by Mrs. Claus. Well, despite brief moments of success, Santa Claus, Arizona couldn't sustain itself. By the 1970s, the town had begun to fall into disrepair. When writer Mark Weingartner visited the area in 1988, he found a sad shadow of its former self. The last gift shops and amusements went out of business in '95, leaving little recognizable except for a few vandalized buildings, a wishing well, and the old 1225, a derailed pink children's train covered with graffiti. By 2015, the town had deteriorated further, with only 2 boarded-up graffitied buildings remaining. The once charming children's natural beauty and diversity. Established as a national park in 1972, it covers 72,000 acres, rolling hills, lush forests, and makes it one of Brazil's most extraordinary natural environments. The park is traversed by the São Francisco River, which meanders through the terrain, nourishing a wide variety of plants and animals. The landscape is punctuated by dramatic rock formations and breathtaking waterfalls, including the famous Casca de Anta waterfall. At over 610 feet tall, this cascade offers a serene natural beauty, making it a popular spot for visitors. The prehistoric rock formations here add to its charm. Sites like Corral de Pedras and Garriguem de Pedra showcase the ancient geological marvels, which have been shaped into unusual and intriguing forms. The real star of Serra de Canastra, however, is the giant anteater, a creature as fascinating as it is bizarre. Endangered and increasingly rare in many parts of Brazil, the giant anteater finds a safe haven in the park's expansive wilderness. While beyond the giant anteater, this place is home to a range of endangered species, including the pampas deer, the maned wolf, puma, pampas cat, and the critically endangered Brazilian merganser duck. While these creatures are more elusive and require careful planning to spot, they do add to the park's rich tapestry of wildlife. Number 8. Musée des Automates. A fascination with creating some sort of artificial life has really captivated humanity for centuries, stretching from the Promethean undertones in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein to contemporary advancements in AI and robotics. And really, even kids' stories like Pinocchio. Well, central to this fascination are automatons, mechanical devices designed to emulate the movements and behaviors of living beings. These intricate machines were particularly prevalent during the 18th and 19th centuries, crafted by engineers and clockmakers who used clockwork gears, cogs, and cams to bring their creation to life. Some were capable of The museum's setting, a dimly lit, extravagantly decorated space, enhances the otherworldly experience of visiting this place. The exhibits feature a wide range of mechanical figures, and visitors are greeted by fairy tale characters, chimerical creatures, and eerie figures that spring to life through intricate movements. The occasional squeak of these gears serve as a subtle reminder of the mechanical nature behind these magical scenes. The experience is both enchanting and slightly unsettling, creating a unique atmosphere that's both nostalgic and eerie. Maybe we can stick Iron Man in there. Moving on to number 7, Caldo de Piedra. Caldo de Piedra, or stone soup, may initially appear as an unassuming dish served in a modest, thatch-roofed restaurant a few miles outside Oaxaca City. But don't let the name fool you, because this bizarre restaurant gives our taste buds a glimpse into an ancient Chiantec tradition of life in a way that sets it apart from typical Chiantec traditions. So how does someone even think to open a joint like this one? Well, in the small town of San Felipe Usila, men historically prepared caldo de piedra on the riverbanks. After catching fish and shrimp, they would season the broth with tomatoes, onions, lime, cilantro, and chiles. A fire-heated stone would then be placed into the mixture, rapidly cooking the fish to tender perfection. Well, despite some modern challenges such as concerns over water quality that have led to locals sourcing their fish from stores, the tradition of caldo de piedra endures. While the restaurant's menu features other Oaxacan staples like memelas and tlayudas, the true highlight is the caldo piedra. It's made with locally sourced fish and cooked with the stones from the river. This dish is a fresh, savory, and aromatic specialty that encapsulates the flavors of indigenous Oaxaca. The preparation process, involving the dramatic addition of a red-hot stone to the broth, not only cooks the ingredients, but also imparts a unique smoky flavor that's both delightful. Architectural oddities offer a small window into a past era's dream of a future, leaving many to wonder about the circumstances that led to its current state of disrepair and space-age mystery. It was designed by Soronin in the late 1960s. These are whimsical, flying saucer-like structures made from prefabricated plastic. Originally, they were conceived as ski chalets. These lightweight portable homes could be airlifted to any location, making them a symbol of futuristic, adaptable living. However, the adjustable UFO-style legs that characterize these houses were replaced with incongruous 1970s-era pebble concrete staircases. Well, despite the modifications, the Futuro houses retain their distinctive appearance. Scattered among these UFO-shaped homes are Venturo houses, another prefabricated design by Soronin. Unlike the Futuro, the Venturo houses never achieved widespread popularity. These boxy, modular homes were intended to offer an affordable and efficient housing solution. The origins of the Wanli UFO village and its decay. Looks like these UFOs never really took off. Number 5. Yuncheng Salt Lake. Yuncheng Salt Lake in Shanxi Province, China, is often called China's Dead Sea. It's a natural spectacle that undergoes a dramatic transformation every summer. Unlike any typical lake, Yuncheng becomes a canvas of vibrant colors, magenta, green, and aquamarine, thanks to the activity of an algae that thrives in these high salt conditions. This algae reacts with the salt to create a dazzling display, making the lake resemble a giant painter's palette from above. But Yuncheng Salt Lake offers more than just visual beauty. It's been a cornerstone of the local culture and economy for over 6,000 years, with archaeologists finding evidence that its salt was a valuable resource even to ancient civilizations. By the 6th century, it was producing a quarter of China's salt, playing a critical role in the nation's development. Unlike the Dead Sea, which is rich in as the water evaporates, the crystalline salt has historically been used for culinary purposes, contributing to unique flavors. However, since the 1980s, the focus has shifted from traditional harvesting to industrial production. This change has raised concerns about the preservation of both the cultural heritage and the delicate ecosystem of this lake. Increased interest in its features could inspire efforts to protect and sustain the traditional salt harvesting methods. Number 4. Lake Karachay. Lake Karachay, situated in the southern Ural Mountains of Russia, has gained a bit of notoriety as possibly the most polluted spot on the planet. This small lake, located near the Mayak Production Association, a secretive nuclear facility, became a dumping ground for radioactive waste between 1951 and 53. The nearby Chelyabinsk 65 plant responsible for this contamination was part of the Soviet Union's nuclear program. Reports from bigwigs declared this lake the most polluted place on Earth. Its radioactivity in Hiroshima during the atomic bombing. The broader region around Mayak, including the Techa River, experienced severe ecological impacts due to the facility's activities. The Russian government kept the existence of it a secret until 1990, and during that period the facility had several nuclear accidents and continuously dumped waste into local waterways. This secrecy led to a widespread health issue, a 21% increase in cancer incidents, a 25% increase in birth defects, and a 41% increase in leukemia among the local populations. The river used by nearby villages for drinking water was so contaminated that up to 65% of the locals suffered from radiation sickness, euphemistically referred to by doctors as special disease. Well, while it might be possible to stand on the shores of the lake without immediate lethal consequences, the risk of prolonged exposure or even accidental ingestion of contaminated materials are way too high to justify any form of tourism or in Turkish. The process here is ongoing, with the terraces constantly being refreshed by the flow of the calcium-rich waters. Now, the city of Hierapolis was founded around these healing waters in the 2nd century BC. During the Roman era, this place was thriving as a health spa, attracting visitors who believed in the therapeutic properties of the water. The city was repeatedly rebuilt following several devastating earthquakes, and it remained a significant settlement until it was finally abandoned around 1300 AD. Pamukkale is one of the few places in the world where such travertine terraces even exist. A similar but smaller set of pools can be found in China. Tragically, another comparable site in New Zealand, known for its beauty during the Victorian era, was destroyed by a volcanic eruption in 1886. There are 17 hot springs near the area, with temperatures rising up to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. The water, though, is supersaturated with calcium carbonate. It travels down the terraces, depositing the calcium carbonate as it cools, and the carbon dioxide degasses, creating these white. Located on the outskirts of Barcelona is a former cement factory that's undergone an extraordinary transformation into a unique home and office. This modern-day fortress, which now houses Ricardo Bofill's architectural firm, is a bizarre yet enchanting fusion of industrial remnants and lush greenery. Bofill's journey began with La Fabrica in 1973, when he stumbled upon the abandoned factory and saw beyond its dilapidation. Ricardo Bofill is a renowned Spanish architect, purchased the cement factory with the vision of repurposing it. Over the past 5 decades, he's meticulously transformed the factory into 8 spacious silos into these lofty interiors that serve various purposes. The factory, originally built during Catalonia's post-World War II industrial boom, features a sprawling 32,000 square foot space with 30 silos, a smokestack, cavernous machine rooms, and 2.5 miles of underground tunnels. The initial phase of this transformation involved extensive deconstruction to peel back the layers. Opus 40, located in the woods below the Overlook and Round Top Mountains in the Catskills, is a surreal sculpture park that surprises and mesmerizes visitors. This extensive hand-built stone landscape is the life work of artist-sculptor Harvey Feit, who spent decades transforming an abandoned quarry into a sprawling work of art. In 1938, Feit, then a professor of fine arts at Bard College, purchased the quarry to source stone for his sculptures. That same year, a transformative trip to Honduras, where he worked on Mayan sculptural restoration for the Carnegie Institute, inspired him. So in 1939, he began constructing what would become his magnum opus, Opus 40. His work on Opus 40 began with diverting water from a spring within the quarry to create 2 large pools. Around these pools, he built curving walls, cobbled pathways, and intricate staircases. This construction method involves fitting stones together without any mortar, relying on precision and gravity to hold the structure, for the expectation that the project would take 40 years to complete. Thanks to the efforts of Feit's widow, Barbara Feit, who established a nonprofit organization to manage the site, Opus 40 is open to the public. Visitors can explore the winding pathways, staircases, and pools of the sculpture park, and the Quarryman's Museum offers insights into the quarrying area and Feit's tools, while a short monograph about Feit's life and work is screened on a loop in the admissions building. Opus 40 was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 2001 and has been described by Architectural Digest as one of the largest and most beguiling works of art on the entire continent. Well, the site also features an amphitheater where visitors can create their own stone sculptures, paying homage to Fite's legacy. The park's not only an example of one man's artistic vision, but also a stunning example of how art can transform and redefine a landscape. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.